Here it is. Must be nice. The Mustang has gotten the better of me. I did finally get it running. I put a fuel pump, fuel tank, fuel lines, cap, rotor, coil, plugs, injectors, and it was still running like crap. And basically my buddy that I bought it off of, his grandfather got it off someone else. And the story was it was running, it was just a fuel pump. Well, they had the firing order all out of whack. And another buddy ended up helping me out there, Tim Goman, shout out to you, buddy. Helped me find out the firing order. So we got it running good. I went to take Kate out. I joked with her earlier in the day, and I was like, if you're lucky, we'll take out the Mustang for a hot date, take the hot rod. Well, I go to crank it up. Literally, we're all ready, dressed up, whatever, to go out, and it won't run. No spark, no nothing. So we end up taking the F-150, whatever. Well, get back. The MSD box is shot, which I've had no luck with them. And then, so I've rummaged through my whole shop, which my shop's a complete wreck now. Going through all these boxes, because I could have swore I had an MSD box, but I didn't. I didn't have a 6AL. So I ended up having to buy a 6AL, and I go through all the wiring to try to see what they got set up. They had the box in the passenger floorboard. And it is a wiring nightmare. And I've owned a lot of cars. And I don't know how many people can relate to this, but it seems like every car I've owned, side by side, all of them, that if anybody did any wiring, it's like a complete bosh of a job, man. It's just horrible. Like this wire's got 3 wires in a space of 4 foot. The connector is just shoved in there. It's like a connector. They just like bent it over and wrapped it around the bolt, I guess. There's a ton of wire nuts. This is like the main coil here. They soldered this in. I'm not sure what's going on here. It'd be better off just to run this wire straight here. I understand the plug, but once you run an aftermarket coil and it's the same thing, then you go right to another plug. Shortly down the line, there'll be another one. So this one goes from red to yellow, back to red. So now, doesn't scratch the bear. And I'm gonna go and tuck all these wires, try to make it clean it up, make it a little nicer in the engine compartment, literally get rid of all the wiring that is done aftermarket on the car, try to make it back original. I started removing the inner fender, but I didn't want to be the only one having all the fun. This is what's already came out of it, but I can just see it in there. There's going to be a lot, so. Oh yeah, look at that. That's just levitating, waiting to freaking pounce on me. Oh yeah. Oh, you got me. Safe to say something started making its home in there. Literally just levitating. A nest and, oh yeah. Definitely started making its way in here. We saved her. I can definitely say we saved her. Because a little longer and it would have started eating through the harnesses and everything. And who knows. Not a good sign right here. Must be nice. All right, so we got old girl all cleaned up now. Wires are all tucked in the inner fender. I did end up mounting the MSD box there to get it off the passenger floor. That way, when everybody's kicking and screaming over there, they ain't knocking this thing loose. But anyway, you can see just the solenoid switch. I got it set up right there where you could kind of access it if you have any issues. Like I said, we're not building a show car here. We're building a play toy / race car. The object of this thing, like I said before, is to keep this thing as budget as possible. So what more budget thing to do than to weld the rear end? So we know that's next in the task. You can't build a budget race car / play toy without having a welder and the rear diff opened up and the spider gear is welded. I think that's just a mandatory must for a budget car. But I gotta point out this, man. Why is Permatex still making this orange junk? I swear it's pretty much a good signification that someone's had their hands in it and probably didn't know what they're doing. I don't know what this orange junk application is supposed to be. I know it's high temp, whatever. That's what it says on the label, but it's ugly. And I guess unless you're using like Mopar orange or Chevy orange or something like that, maybe it's acceptable, but it doesn't look good. Stop using this stuff, guys. Just my opinion. I'm gonna use some ultra black or some ultra gray, just because that's normally all I buy, or Yama Bond, and that stuff's too high dollar to be using on this rear diff cover. But stop using the orange stuff, man. Come on. But give you a little of the underbelly of old girl. H-pipe. Here's another one of them things that I got to get taken care of to, you know, get rid of the previous owner's wiring job there. I think that's just a low oil sensor, which will be on the oil game on this thing, so shouldn't have to worry about that. I did, while I had it on the lift, pull out the rack spacers. They're in here, a little plastic spacer, just so I can get a little more steering angle out of it. But obviously right now with these, what are these, 165s? Yeah, 165 80s. Yeah, they're not gonna be too ideal for drifting, but they'll be ideal for the drag strip. It's a little H-pipe, classic Flow Masters. I definitely got to get some control arms on these things. The control arm, or the battle boxes or whatever, control boxes. They all are in great shape right now, but any Mustang owner knows you could see that thing being oval. It actually allows it to walk, the rear end to walk around, and that's why they put these quad shocks on here to aid that rear end from shifting back and forth. But over time, they just get beat up. As soon as you start adding more and more power and doing burnouts and stuff like that, it starts ripping the actual frame and the torque arm boxes out. So we'll get them out, and you can see these freaking bushings right here are pretty well shot. And here's the diff cover. I'm hoping this is a 3 in front of this L. If it's a 3, that means I got 373s. I'm betting it's gonna be 273s is what I'm gonna have in here. So this probably would be one of the first mods we do, is change the gear ratio in this thing, because with the horsepower it's making, definitely needs some more gear. So control arms, rear gears, definitely in the future. Some rear shocks, the old Ultras have seen better days. And probably ultimately some rear springs, but like I said, we're gonna try to keep it as budget as possible. So right now we're going to the track how it is, and we're gonna see what kind of time it'll run. And then ultimately this might turn into, you know, what money receives you the best horsepower, best gains at the track. And I know just from future messing with these Mustangs, the pinion angle is real crucial on these things to hooking up and working. So just being able to have adjustable control arms on there and solid bushings should help aid the rear of this thing quite a bit. And probably when we're in there the next time, we'll put a rear gear in here. But we're gonna get this thing welded up and see what we got, baby. Come on.
Midnight lights flicker on that concrete floor. Radio hum, same song we heard before. Grease on our hands, beer on the bench. Broken bolts, busted knuckles, smell of gas. Clock on the wall said way past 10, but we ain't leaving till it runs again. Bills stacked high, paycheck gone, but this is where we feel at home. Yeah, it costs money to play, but we pay it proud. Spinning wrenches while the world slows down. Fresh engine dropping in that old side by side. Hear it bark to life, man, it hits like a fix. Long nights, loud laughs, boys in the shop. Yeah, it costs money to play.
I went a little farther than I even said I was gonna go, but I've seen people make little plates that cross off this and they'll seal it all completely up. I mean, most of the time when you do this, the housing's destroyed anyway, or the carrier rather. So I end up welding a little bit in the carrier, just on the gears, flip it over. Same thing. For the power level this thing's making, should be more than sufficient. I just might play a little game getting the C-clips out when that time comes, but we'll cross that bridge a little later. I probably should have pulled it out and pulled that little S-clip out, and I'd have been better off. I think would probably been ideal, but impatient and ready to do some burnouts got the best of me. So hold the line. We'll get this thing cleaned up, get some RVT on it, gray or black, not orange, and put some oil in it, and we're doing some burnouts, baby. Come out here to my high performance paint booth. I didn't want to use one of them turbo cans because I can't make the rear diff faster than the car. I already put one coat on the diff cover, but I wanted to show you guys a trick. I know y'all seen the cardboard, but specifically use your leftover chicken wing box, and if you peek in there, you can still see the orange residue to paint your bolts. That way, they're pre-greased when you go to put them in the application you're using them for. Just pro tip right there. But man, as I'm out here, I can't help but look at the track. Look at the jumps. Double over there looking sweet, boy. Takeoff, landing, table, double, single, into the big booter over here. The mulch is starting to wear in. Look at it. It's almost turning the dirt. That's what we're looking for. Soon this thing will be prime time to ride along with my back. Come on. I'm not using orange, but there will be signs. All back together, diff fluid in, cover looking good. It's not a good day to be a Avenger GT, I can tell you. You're about to find out here in a minute. But genuine question, would you rather see someone paint the diff cover and not paint the rear end, or not paint the diff cover and make it match the rear end, just leave it alone, just put it back together? Which would you rather see? If you were, say, buying this later on, would you rather them, I mean, obviously the ideal thing would be to take the whole rear end out and paint it and make it all look nice, but out of these two options, which would you rather see? Still got wires and stuff hanging everywhere, but I'm excited to drive this thing. Nostalgic. I got the kick bolster. I actually ordered the armrest here just so I ain't holding my window source here, but hopefully she fires up now. It treats me good. We ain't even drove her. Probably take it around the Holly Hill Humbler a couple times just to make sure she's good before we take her out on the road. We'll see if she handles all right, or just if the brakes work and stuff, I guess. The brakes feel decent. Y'all seen in that earlier part of the video how rough they were looking. Could have just been surface rust up. Definitely a little funny going to the second. We're locked in though now. Oh yeah. She might put a real time down on the Holly Hill Humbler, boy. We're finally to the back roads of Mexico. See how old girl does. She don't feel half bad going in the gear. Feel like you gotta want it to go into gear, but it's alright. A little all over the place. Got that old school car shuffle. See the steering wheel, the car ain't even moving. Brakes seem to work good. Don't work. so funny, man. Times have changed so much because, man, I used to think this thing was a freaking rocket ship at this speed. I had so many of these things back in the day, and I remember I had a few of them that little farther along than this one, but man, I felt like it was a rocket ship. Now, like I mentioned earlier, with 273s, it ain't gonna be really, really impressive because, you know, it really needs like a turbo or something to run that tall of a gear. But either way, man, I'm excited. This brings me back to that time. The rattles, the squeaks, AC being the window down. If y'all ain't experienced something like this, you're missing out. Went bad. I put new tires on it. I'm just trying to get it going, you know what I mean? I got a YouTube channel, so I'm like trying to incorporate this for the YouTube, you know. I'm gonna have a couple buddies, we're all gonna like see who can run the fastest time in it and then just gradually make it faster and faster.
What do you like, drag racing and all that? Or?
I'm into all sorts of stuff. My main thing is I ride side by side.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's your channel?
It Must Be Nice Official.
But I'm gonna look it up.
Don't go bullshitting me, man. Well, I don't know if you can hear that, but it developed the exhaust leak after that last little donut, and I don't think it's too happy with me. It don't seem to be running the same as she was, and it might just be because of it blowing exhaust out. I'm not sure, but she for sure. I'm sure when you pop the hood, you'll be able to hear it a little more. Oh yeah, it's in there. Oh, it's missing a header bolt. I almost bet that's where it's coming from. I need to get a hood prop to hold this up with my head. Oh yeah, you can feel the air just straight coming out of it. That's alright. Hopefully that's why she's not running too good or not happy with me, but I'm gonna shut her off so I can talk to you guys. But we did get one on the dude count. I'm gonna start a counter of every time I take one of these toys out and a random guy comes up, and I'm gonna call it trying to pick me up, or a pickup line, or spit game. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but it's funny. Every time you have something cool out, and that's the signification, I guess, that the Mustang's somewhat cool, is someone will come up to you and be like, oh, what you got there? You know, just what, you know, curious or whatever. So I'm gonna start a dude counter. The guy today was number 1. Hopefully he does see this episode because he did subscribe. That was cool. But man, we took a ride down memory lane in this thing. It really does bring back memories. And it's funny, like I said earlier, of like how I think back in the time that this used to be fast, and now the scale is so much higher for me to what seems fast. But I think what I want to do is put a rear gear in it before we take it to the track the next time, or the first time, because right now the gear is so laggy, this thing's so slow. I want to represent the Mustang right, at least for what it is. Like I said, as little money and as little work as possible, but a rear gear is almost a mandatory must for what we're trying to do. A 273 just ain't gonna cut the deal. But at least it's posi now. Hopefully I'll be able to fix this little bug by just fixing the exhaust leak, get it back running. I'll get some gears ordered. We're gonna get it to the track. I'd like to see it run a low 14, and I don't think that's too much to ask for what it is. The excitement of this, I mentioned earlier about drag rails. I think I'm gonna leave these tires on it. That way you actually gotta drive it. So the best driver will actually win. 5-speed car. We both know how all that works. It can just straight spin through first, second, third gear, or you can get it to hook and kind of bog it out and drive the car. So I'm excited to see that. Y'all stay tuned. Just a little sneak peek. We got a lot more progression on the mini boats. I'm about to show you that in the next video. Keep your boy growing. I'm trying. We put a lot of work in this. It's not easy, but I'm persistent. We're gonna make this work, baby. So like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video. All your comments help. Thank you. Kim, man.